Alright guys, welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to be talking about hotkey configuration, and basically I'm going to be setting up my own hotkeys in my demo account on TradeNet. So with a partnership with TradeNet, with the packages you buy, with the funded accounts and stuff, you get alongside a demo account. So I thought I would go through. Basically, I'm setting up my display, and then I'm going to save the file, and then I'm going to open it on my funded account. Just so, because normally when you do your hotkey configuration, it shows all your account details, and in the past people have been hacked. So I'm just going to do it on the demo account, just to give some clarification of how to actually set up hotkeys. And just in case, well, actually these will be hot buttons, and just in case you don't know what hotkeys are, or hot buttons are, and hotkey is basically like a shortcut. So you can press, for example, shift 1 and it will buy 1,000 shares at the bid, or sorry, at the ask, or at the bid. And then a hot button is like you can see down here. So buy 200, for example, if you hover over, you'll see it says route, order type, and then you'll see price, the bid, and then position and sell. That hotkey is hot button is not configured just yet. So what we're going to do, and basically to use these, you'd basically just click on them. So you can, for example, buy 200 shares and then sell 200 shares in a matter of seconds without having to, input all the data. And so a hot button would be like having to press shift 1, but with the hotkey would be pressing shift 1. The hot button, you basically just click on the screen, which, it's up to you however you use it, but you need the hotkey configuration to do the hot button. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into hotkeys, and you can see hotkey configure. So we are going to basically, I already have some pre-made. So you can see here, TradeNet, and this is TEF's trading platform partnership. They have some pre-made hotkeys, so you can scan through here and have a look. You've got load half the position. You can say share half the position. Hotkey, you could configure that for F2 or shift 2 or whatever you want. But basically, I'm going to go down to the ones that I've pre-done just to give some clarification. So basically I have, so the description, buy 250, shift 1, and it's going to be route, order type, limit. Now the differentiation between the limit and the market. Now when you buy a share at a limit price, you will not get filled at any other price. So basically the price you input is the price you get filled at. Nothing else matters. So if you say I want to buy 1,000 shares at 11.50, your order will not get filled unless that price drops to 11.50. However, if you do a market order, some people use market, so order type, and it would say market. The market order is slightly different. Now for efficiency, it obviously trumps the limit, but a limit order you can get filled at any price. For example, if the share is $10 and all this volume comes in, the market opens 9:30, all the volume comes in, and the share goes up 10%, and you have your market order as soon as the market opens, and you press buy, that market order will buy those shares at the highest price because it's trying to get filled instantly. So it'll go to the highest price, it'll go to the top of the ladder. So the thing is with the market, so the differentiation between the limit and the market, the limit, you're kind of fixed, you're going to get filled at that price, no higher, no less, it'll be at that price. So and the market order, you can get filled at any price, which is a bit scary. I see people buying 1,000 shares at the market order and they're already $200 down as soon as they buy it, because they're buying 1,000 shares, which is expensive, plus they get filled at a bad price. So they get filled at 10.50 instead of maybe 10.20, or something if they're going to be shorting or whatever. They try and they buy the share thinking they can get in at 10.50, and they actually get filled at 10.70. So that stock now needs to go up 20 cents higher than they previously determined, where you could be taking profit if you had put a limit price at 10.50, took profit at 10.70. So We're going to configure a buy and we're going to configure a short. Really simple, but I'm going to stick with the basics, and I might do another video in the future, but we're just going to stick to the basics today: buy and short, and obviously we'll do a sell as well. So we've got, for the buy, 250 shares. So the route, okay, for my case, it's CFDR, okay. The order type is limit, we've already discussed. Now this is share, so we're buying some shares, okay, and it's going to equal 250. This is the requirement, or the amount we're going to be buying. So share 250. That's how many we're going to have. The price is going to equal the ask, okay, and we're going to buy. So if we do a bit of inversion, okay, we are buying on the ask, okay. So the price equals the ask, 250 shares. At limit. I always do inversion, I always invert things, you know, so go backwards. So we're buying on the ask 250 shares limit. Now we basically copy and paste this, so we can copy, then so Control C, Control V, and this is the same. The only thing we need to change is the 50, so we need to put 500 instead of 250. And now we have the name buy 500, shift 1, shift 2. Now if we want to short a stock, meaning we're going to bet that the stock's going to go down, now this is slightly different. So we're going to still have a limit price, because we don't want to get filled, we don't want to have any spread, okay, we don't want to have any variance in our order. So we want to get filled at 1050. That's it. We don't want to get filled at 1060, 1040, 1050 is the price, okay, for example. Now this is going to be the same order type, limit, share 250. That's all the same, the price, okay, but this is going to be at the bid, because we are shorting. So the best way to kind of understand this, when you buy a share, you're buying on the ask, okay, and when you sell a share, you're selling it on the bid. So the ask is always higher than the bid by at least a cent, or an increment, a small increment, you know, 1 to 2 cents, maybe 5, sometimes 20, sometimes 50 cents. But it'll always be higher. The ask will always be higher than the bid. Basically, as soon as you buy a share, if you want to sell that share, you would have to sell it for less. The money in between, the difference between, is what the market makes, the market makers, the servers, the order types, the people who are the routes. Basically, they're the people getting paid that small incremental, you know, difference. So you buy on the ask at 1050. If you want to sell it back, you might have to sell on, you know, 1048 or 1049, depending on the spread. Okay. So when you short, you want to be shorting the stock at the lower price, because if you short at the ask, the stock has to go down at least a cent or two before you get filled. Okay, so you want to be shorting on the bid, because it's always lower than the ask. Okay, and then when you want to buy your shorts back, so when you short a stock, you are basically you are shorting 200 shares, and then you sell them back to someone who wants to buy those shares. You know, you shorted the stock, someone thinks it's, you know, a good investment, so they buy these shares, you can sell them back to that guy, and then that's your position closed. So we have short 250, okay, order type limit again, share 250, price is on the bid, and we're going to sell because we are shorting the stock. And then, like I say, this is basically the same. You can copy and paste this, and just make sure you change that to 500. So now we have buy 250, buy 500, short 250, short 500. Now we are going to have, for our buy, we are going to sell some of our position, okay? And then we are going to also cover some of our position. Okay guys, I just had to retake this part of the video because my audio was skipping and the sound waves were playing up. So let's get back to it. So to cover, or to sell and cover our positions, I have inputted some configurations on here, but I want you to see what's wrong with them. There's 2 out of 6, so 2 of them are incorrect. And I mean, pause the video or just look at the video and kind of see, from sell 50% to cover 100%, kind of see what's wrong with them. So just to walk through, okay, we've done the buy and the short, so now we're going to sell 50% of our position. Okay, so we've got the route, okay, we've got the order type, which is the limit. The share is equal to half of our position. 1/2 is 50%. POS is for position. The price is going to be the bid, and we are going to be selling. Okay, so we're going to be selling whatever position, so whatever shares we have, if we have 1,000 shares, we'll be selling 500, okay, and we're going to be selling at the bid because the bid is lower than the ask, so we're going to get filled quicker. Now sell 100% is exactly the same, but if we're going to be selling the shares is going to be equal to POS, the position. Now we are going to, that says self, not sell, okay, so sell 75%, okay, root CFDR, order type limit, share equal position, price is bid, and we're going to sell. Now we're not going to sell all of the position, we're going to sell 75%. So we're going to go onto the position, okay, and we're going to type 3/4. 3/4 is equal to 75, okay, so that's going to sell 75% of our position. We have 1,000 shares. We click that hot button or hotkey and it will sell 750 of them. Okay, now we have cover 50%. Okay, so cover 50% is going to be root equal to whichever root you have. For me it is CFDR. Order type is, like say we said, limit. The share is going to be equal to 50% of our position. Okay, 1/2, 50%, and the price is going to equal the ask, and we're going to be buying. Because just imagine, you know, in your head, we've shorted some shares, so we've kind of brought some shares hoping that they're going to go down, and once they do go down, we'll sell them back to someone who wants to buy them. Okay, so that's basically what's happening in a short scenario. So we short some stocks, we now own them, and we sell them back. Now we buy on the bid to get the lowest price so we can short it quickly, and we sell back on the ask. Okay, so it's kind of inverse to or opposite to when we are buying. When we're going long, okay, we are buying on the ask and selling on the bid because we're trying to get the lowest price. But when we short on the bid and we buy on the ask. So it's basically just the opposite, so it's not too difficult. So 50%, so we want 1/2 for the position. Now 75%, exactly the same. The only issue is we've got the full position. Now we don't want to have the full position when we want 75%. So same again, 3/4, POS, price equal ask, and buy. And then for cover 100%, exactly the same, but we are going to take away the half, okay, and it's going to be the full position, which is going to be equal to the position, okay. And I'm just going to make sure that I have a space in between these, just like that. Okay, so that is correct on all of those. So, and now we're going to save the keys, okay, save the keys, and now we're going to go onto our hotkeys. So you can see here, if I hover over the hotkey by 250, you can see the root equals to CFDR, order type is limit, the shares is 250, the price is at the ask, and we are buying. So inversion, we are buying on the ask 250 shares, and it's a limit, okay. To sell half of the position, we are selling 50%, okay, we're selling on the bid, the price is the bid, 50% of the position, and the order type is a limit, okay. And if we want to say short 500, we are basically selling on the bid 500 shares at a limit price. So if you wanted to change this hotkey configuration, you simply hover over the hotkey, you right click, and then you have the list of hotkeys that you have configured on here. So you can see the ones we made: buy 250, buy 500, short, sell, and cover. And then you can basically change whichever one you like. So I'm just going to keep buy 250 shares, sell half of my position. See, the thing is with this, if you then buy 250 shares, you sell half, which now leaves you with 125. If you click half again, you'll sell half of 125, okay, so it won't sell all of the position when you sell half twice. So you sell half, it'll leave you with 125, and then if you press here, so if I type this to 0 or 9, if you press the P value here, it'll bring up 125 shares. Or you could just, you know, have a hotkey here and type in simply sell 100%. So then you've got let's just go off this. So if I say sell 100%, then you can basically say, okay, we're going to sell half of the position. So we've got 200 shares, sell half, we're left with 100. Now we can go on to this one to sell 100%, which will sell 100% of how many shares we own. So don't try and think, oh, if I sell half twice, 50%, 50%. It's 50% on how many shares you own. So it's quite important, because that caught me out a couple of times. So just if anyone, wanted some clarification on that. But other than that, guys, I think that's going to be the end of the video. If you've liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you've got any comments, if you've got any things that I've left out or you'd like me to include, leave them in the comment section below. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so with your help we could try and get there. But other than that, guys, I will be concluding the video on this, and I hope to see you all in my next day trading video. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe.